Outreach Coordinator, and I'm so excited to have you join us this afternoon for our Adult Learner webinar. We are going to be talking about New Year, New Career, and we're going to be discovering the NC careers and the degrees behind them. Before we get started, we're going to talk about CFNC for adult learners. We are a free service of the state to help you plan, apply, and pay for college. And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight is planning for college. We also offer NC 529 plans, which can be used for adult learners, as well as NC student assist loans and FELS loans. We also offer scholarships, a Next NC scholarship, and most households making $80,000 or less will qualify. And we also offer NC need-based scholarship for private college students. So resources are available at cfnc.org. So when you get a chance, check us out. But we are so happy to be able to present. So I'm going to pass it over to our guest tonight, Jamie Vaughn, and he is going to take over.
All right, excellent. Well, thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Jamie Vaughn. I am an analyst with the North Carolina Department of Commerce Labor and Economic Analysis Division. Janice, can you verify you see my screen?
Yes.
Sharing. Okay, excellent. All right, and again, so today, again, I'm really appreciative of CFNC and the team for inviting me to present a little bit and share with you guys one of the great resources that the state has really developed, and I'm proud to be on the team to help provide this. We're going to talk a little bit about nccareers.org, which is the state's career information system. But first, the goal here was really to provide you with kind of an overview of the labor market and then help you understand how you can access information to help understand education as well as occupational opportunities and how kind of to take advantage of them. So we'll go ahead and get started. So one of the things that I'm going to talk about briefly is just setting up a little bit of information around labor market trends, helping you understand that. There's been some trends out there, maybe some questions that you have kind of moving forward. I just want to kind of touch a little bit on it. So there's been a trend going on called polarization of jobs for many years now. From here. And polarization of jobs, there's really four job categories broken up into two segments. There's routine jobs versus non-routine jobs. A routine job is a job that's repetitive. You're going to show up every day and you're going to know kind of what you're going to do, as to where a non-routine job is varying. You don't necessarily know what you're going to do from there. Think about that also. Does it take a lot of training to master this, whether that's formal education or whether that's on-the-job education? Or can you show up relatively quickly and within a few hours really understand the job and kind of what you're going to do and do that job efficiently moving forward? The other side of that is understanding whether it's a cognitive or a manual job. So really kind of thinking about that. Is it a cognitive job? Is it a manual job? If it's a manual job, you're really physically manipulating a product. Think about maybe brains versus brawn. If it's a cognitive job, you're really using your knowledge to create a service, to create a product from there. So why is that important? So, and if you look at the share of jobs in North Carolina by type of work requirement, comparing 2000 to 2024, you can see that those cognitive non-routine jobs in 2000 made up about 28% of total jobs in North Carolina, as to where in 2024, those cognitive non-routine jobs made up about 35%. Those cognitive non-routine jobs would be things like doctors, engineers, typically kind of known as knowledge jobs. The cognitive routine jobs were has changed as well from 28% down to 21% in 2024. Cognitive routine jobs are things office and sales jobs, so call center workers, cognitive or cashiers, things like that. The manual non-routine jobs are kind of those physical manual jobs, non-routine, kind of those blue collar workers, assembly workers, truck drivers, as to where the manual non-routine or manual routine jobs, I'm sorry, the manual non-routine jobs are again kind of those bartenders, barbers, things like that, as there were the routine manual jobs. I apologize, I misspoke there. Think of those like assembly workers and truck drivers. So what's the trend? You can see that those that the where the cognitive non-routine increased, cognitive routine decreased, manual non-routine increased, manual routine decreased. So the trend is not on the cognitive versus manual, it's on the routine versus non-routine. So where you can see that the share of those non-routine jobs typically is increasing. What that's really telling us is that those jobs, the more opportunities, the way that North Carolina's economy in terms of labor market is really changing is it's those non-routine jobs, jobs that require some training, some whether that's formal education, whether that's on the job kind of routines, short-term training certificates, formal education, are the opportunities that really are increasing moving forward. So one of the things that you may be thinking about, you're hearing a lot about artificial intelligence, and how does that affect this moving forward? So really, we're only about 3 years approximate into the AI revolution moving forward. So we're not quite sure yet. We can't really tell, can't see anything in the data trends so far. Give us another year, we might be able to see some of this. But there's some potential impacts that we feel pretty confident kind of talking about. We just don't know the extent to which these impacts will create. So number one, feel pretty as opposed to, traditional automation, the robots, working in a manufacturing facility, replacing jobs, taking people's, doing the work that manual labor used to do. White collar jobs, AI is going to affect more on the white collar jobs from here. We do feel that AI, when used effectively, can increase productivity for folks, and that could be very valuable. Also, could see a scenario where lower skilled, lesser skilled workers who know how to work with AI and use AI well could work in higher skilled jobs from there. So think about maybe it's an attorney's office where you've got an attorney, maybe you have a couple of paralegals. A paralegal is an associate's degree or higher, a minimum requirement job, and then maybe you have some legal assistants. Legal assistants being more of a certificate kind of role. So again, so less formal education, less training. Well, maybe AI, legal assistants who are able to use AI can then do the work of a paralegal by using AI appropriately. So an attorney could say, well, you know what, maybe I don't need all the paralegals. Maybe I can keep all of my legal assistants paying a lower salary and allow them to do a better job, allow them to do the work of a paralegal using AI. So lots of different scenarios that you could possibly see from there. But if you're thinking about it big picture, how can AI affect occupations and jobs? Really, so here's some information that we've looked at. There's been a lot of research in terms of what may happen. So looking at it, and so the occupations that are most highly exposed to being affected by AI, whatever that looks like, are occupations in like the legal professions, business and financial operations, computer and mathematical, educational instruction and library, as opposed to the occupations that are less likely to be affected by AI, are more those manual jobs that we talked about, jobs in construction and extraction, building and maintenance, farming, fishing, and forestry, kind of thinking about that. So thinking about that, so again, how will AI kind of affect occupations? Well, there's two ways that it could really go. And like I said, we're not quite sure which way it's going to go yet. One is kind of the automation route, which typically replaces human labor. Historically, when human labor has been replaced, it will be so those jobs will go away, but new jobs will be created based on the new technology that's out there. Again, if you think about, when the streets were lit by torches and lamps, oil lamps, gas lamps, something along those lines. You had people that physically went out and lit those lamps. Well, when electrification came, you didn't have the people that didn't have to go out there and light the lamps physically anymore, but there were new jobs created. Maybe it was installing new lamps. Maybe it was maintaining those lamps, running new wires and understanding electricity. So new jobs were created that hadn't existed before. So the other side of this is AI can enhance human labor. So when you're thinking about, how can you make career decisions based off of AI? How could it potentially be affected? It could enhance human labor. So we talked about it could make it more productive. So, and I'm talking to you in a role as an analyst. I spend a lot of time looking at data, helping understand, writing, creating outcomes from here. AI can do a lot of that for me. So that could free me up to work on other parts of the job. So making engaging presentations that audiences can respond and relate to is something. So think about where AI can do in terms of occupations and what AI can't do, and really focus on those human skills that AI, whether it's human relationships, whether it's, formal presentations, helping individuals better understand kind of how this information could be used. So that's really kind of our recommendation information in terms of how you can kind of look at AI to make yourself less susceptible to losing your job to AI or automation kind of moving forward. So now that we've kind of talked a little bit about that, think about where can you learn which jobs might be best for you. So basically, you need to go on a career exploration, a career journey process if you want to think about it from there. So I'm going to start really quick on, what is career exploration? What is career planning? It's defined as a series of steps to help clarify and determine short and long-term career goals. So, oh, sorry. Wrong slide. So what does that mean? I really like the image here on the right. If you think about career exploration, a career journey, think of it as a circle, not a pipeline. A pipeline means that you go in one side, get processed through the pipeline, and come out a finished product on the end. Career exploration, going on a career journey, career planning, career exploration, it really is, think of it as a circle. So I've been in the workforce for about 25 years at this point. I've had to reinvent myself quite a few times for advancement, for new opportunities that have come out from here. And every time you kind of go through that process, it's about exploring yourself. It's about learning about those careers, making decisions, setting goals, and taking action. So think about career exploration, career planning as something that you enter at any point, kind of where you are, and you exit at any one point. So it's something that you may have to continually do, thinking about everything moving forward. So how are you going to do that? How can you access resources in order to do that? nccareers.org is a site that was set up to help you understand and explore careers moving forward. This is the landing page. So again, www.nccareers.org. Free and open and available system. So again, as I mentioned, it's owned by the state of North Carolina. It's managed by the Labor and Economic Analysis Division with the North Carolina Department of Commerce. On the right there, the system is actually managed. Well, it's managed by LEAD. I kind of help lead that team that manages it. It's actually governed by a series of partners in the education and workforce space that are there to help guide this site to make sure it's valuable, open, and available for all individuals in North Carolina, whether really kind of starting as young as middle school through end of career. So again, this is a valuable resource that's out there. And the reason that the Department of Commerce manages the site is because we are the source of the labor market information that I'll talk a little bit about within. So what better way to make sure that the information is out there than have the individuals that create the information really put it out there for you. What is the goal of NC Careers? It's to make high quality career exploration free, available, and accessible to all. This is really about equity and inclusion. Anybody who has access to the internet can access the exact same career information as anybody else anywhere in the state, and quite honestly, in the country or the world, as we've had quite a few individuals access NC Careers from all over the country and all over the state. So nobody has first mover advantage. Nobody has access to information that other people don't have. It's also portable through education workforce. You hear me talk a little bit we'll talk about career development plans and having this information. You can continually go back to this site and refer back to it to help understand as labor market information changes and updates, as it tends to do, obviously. You can continue to access this information through your working career, through your educational career, and use it as a resource to make good quality data-driven decisions. Again, it's really about providing data and resources to help individuals understand themselves, understand their interests and skills, how that ties into occupations, the occupations and the career paths from there. And then, of course, as the educational opportunities and job opportunities as a result of exploring and from there. NC Careers, as I mentioned, I'm really proud to be a part of NC Careers to help provide NC Careers for the state. It's a nationally recognized website. So when I have the opportunity to talk to our peers in other states, they instantly know what NC Careers is and they're very impressed. And we've won a couple of awards from national level organizations. So again, this is a very valuable tool that's available moving forward. One of the things before we kind of get started and talk a little bit about NC Careers, and again, my goal today is really to give you an overview. From here, I'm not going to really go hard specific into any one piece. If there's interest in terms of understanding more of that, we can certainly schedule subsequent webinars and things like that. But again, happy to continue to share that as well. So anybody can have a free account using NC Careers. You can use, and I'm going to assume most of you are probably already have CFNC accounts logging in. You could use your CFNC.org credentials to log into NC Careers to save your information from there. Work that you do in NC Careers will go into your CFNC account. They talk to each other. For maybe you have students in the middle in the K through 12 system, the public middle K through 12 system, they can use their NC Ed Cloud credentials. And then, of course, if any of you are working in the NC Works, maybe you have an ncworks.gov, again, which is the adult job seeker system through the Division of Workforce Solutions within the Department of Commerce. You can use your ncworks.org.gov credentials as well to log in. Now, why would you want to do that? So again, everybody can have a free account. I also want to make it clear that almost 100% career development plans are not available if you don't log in. But the site, all the data is available and open whether you log in or not. But we encourage you to because it's free and it allows you to save this information. So when you go through and understand a little bit, as we'll talk about in a minute, you save your assessment results. You can save your favorite occupations. You can save career development plans. You can save lots of information, which is really valuable. And we all know, you go through something, you're like, oh, that sounds really good. If you save it, you can come back to NC Careers later and access that information and say, oh, that's right. That's what I was looking at, that occupation. And these are some of the education programs that I was looking for. So you can continue to work moving forward. Now, thinking about, again, the way NC Careers was set up, is you remember the circle graphic that I showed you where it was, talking about learning about yourself, learning about careers. That's the way we set up NC Careers. Everybody is at a different, even at the same points in your life, everybody is slightly different opportunities, different places in their career development plans. Some people may know that they do not enjoy what they're doing now. Maybe they're looking for other opportunities, but they don't know what that is. Some people may know what the next opportunity they want to pursue and just need to learn a little bit more about it. Again, what kind of education, what kind of training, how can I ultimately become that? Other people want to plan potentially a career from there, and other people just really want help ultimately doing a job search from here. So wherever you are, you can go to NC Careers and access that information very quickly. So what I'm going to do, as you can see, these 5 icons, they represent 5 main sections of the site itself. So I'm going to quickly kind of cover each section and tell you what's in it. From here, and again, happy to answer questions as we move forward as well. So the first section that we're going to talk about it's called Find My Interests. This is where, as you can read, learn about yourself and focus on the occupations that most meet your needs, interests, and wants. This is about doing assessments, activities, learning about yourself. So we have 6 different assessments, activities, tools, whatever you want to call them, within NC Careers. One of them that is a good place to start, in my opinion, is the Interest Finder. This takes 10, maybe 20 minutes in terms of to learn about it. And you go through and you answer some questions. It's ask you questions about activities. Do you like performing these activities? Do you like helping people with personal or emotional problems? If that's something that you really like, maybe you check strongly like. If that's something that's not your favorite activity, maybe you check strongly dislike. You go through a 30 or 60 questions, depending on if you choose the short or the long version. And what it ultimately comes out with is kind of like a personality assessment base that ties to occupations, ties to jobs. From here, it gives you score on 6 different, they're called Holland codes. And then what you can do is you can click on Explore Matching Occupations. It'll take you to our labor market information section that I'll talk about in just a second and give you a pre-filtered list of occupations that meet those Holland codes. So you've quickly narrowed down, as I'll go ahead and steal my own thunder, 800 plus occupations down to a manageable number moving forward. Some of the other tools that you could do to use to find your interests. So Quick Start is another tool that could be really good to start within about 5 minutes. You just answer about 6, 7 questions, and it gives you kind of a filtered list of some occupations. From there, again, career cluster match or understanding your work values. Reality check is a great tool that will help you understand, especially maybe you're helping. It's kind of like a budgeting tool that helps you understand based off lifestyle choices where you want to live, ultimately how much money you might need in order to live that lifestyle from there. So, okay. And then the next section within that is called Explore Occupations. This is where you're going to access this labor market information that I'm telling you about to really help make those informed decisions. As I said a minute ago, 823 different occupations are available in nccareers.org. You can learn lots of information. From here, you can filter down to really kind of narrow to your preferences, whether it's on how much do you want to, how much are you hoping that they'll get paid, star rating that I'll talk about in a minute, education levels, career clusters for those of you maybe that understand career and technical education, geography, lots of different tools that you can filter from there. Each of the occupations, the 823, there is an occupation profile page. To me, this is why we built nccareers.org. All of this information is in one place. So if you know what you're looking for at occupations or something with, you can just type it in our search bar and it'll take you to a page that'll give you all the information that you're looking for specifically around that occupation. Links out to additional information that I'll talk about, whether it's how to build a career, whether it's where can I get that education, lots of different tools from there. You can, as I mentioned, if you logged in with your CFNC account, maybe your NC Works account, from there you can favorite these different occupations from there. And then you can also change geography. Now, why would you want to change geography? It's really important to understand geography because, again, understand what's going on in your area. Understand what are those occupations in your area that are the best opportunities moving forward because economies are regional. The wages that occupations are paid, the demand for different occupations, the growth rates of different occupations all change based on where you live. Again, the Charlotte region has a different economy than the Elizabeth City region, which is different than the Wilmington region from there. So really understanding what are the opportunities in your area is really valuable. Now, how do we break that up? We break that up. There are 17 different geographies in nccareers.org. The first one is statewide. So assume that you're looking statewide data. And then there are 16 sub prosperity zones from here. And you can see that they're groupings of counties that are within here. And the way that we group these counties is based off commuting zones. So we have data from the census that tells where people live and where people go to work from here. And then we were able to do a statistical analysis and group these counties together. So when you're thinking about if you want to understand the opportunities in your area, look and refer and choose the geography that is the one in terms of the county and where you live. So that's really going to kind of give you the best opportunities in your area. And so if you're living in the Triangle, the Triad, Charlotte area, some of the larger urban areas in North Carolina, that's data is going to be very close and similar to statewide data. But if you're living in some of the more rural areas, that could change a lot from the statewide areas from there. So really valuable to narrow down just a little bit and understand what those opportunities for you. So what's some of the labor market information that's available? So one of the questions that you may have is, again, how much does it pay? How much does an occupation pay in my area? And you can see that we don't just provide an average wage number. We provide a low end wage, kind of a 10th percentile wage, a middle wage, and a high end wage. That's really valuable to understand because, of course, based on experience, based off lots of other factors, it depends on what employers pay from there. And they'll make decisions like that. So understanding kind of what is a low end wage, what is a middle wage, what is a high wage is going to be really valuable in terms of you evaluating what those opportunities might be. The thing that I personally would encourage folks to think about from the beginning is what does this occupation do? So what are the regular duties, responsibilities that individuals do from here? That information is available. We provide a couple of sentences overview. So software developers is the example here. They're the creative minds behind computer programs. They develop applications. I think everybody could have said software developers write software, right? But what are those routine duties and responsibilities? They consult with customers. They analyze needs. They research and evaluate other factors in terms of understanding hardware needs, cost, security, things like that. Understanding those are really valuable, not just for understanding what you're going to do routinely, but also understand how to train for that information as well. So understanding, is this a good long-term prospect? Every year, Department of Commerce comes up with employment projections data to understand 10 years from now, what are the potential best opportunities moving forward? And within occupations, we rate them from 1 to 5 stars. 5 stars are considered the best long-term opportunities, considering wage, considering growth rate, considering number of job postings that are projected out there, as to where 1 star are not necessarily considered the best. When you're thinking and planning long term, we would encourage you to really focus on identifying those 3, 4, and 5 star occupations moving forward. That those are considered ones that are typically paying at least an average wage for the area. They're typically growing, and they typically are going to have a large number of job postings out there as well. So really kind of encourage you to think about that. If you want to, again, just to get a quick list, so you can use NC Careers to filter and understand all of the occupations. If you want to maybe see and understand some of the occupations broken down by education level, so we do create Star Jobs brochures that you can access through the QR code. And again, these slides will be available as well as the recording that you can access this later. But you can access that at commerce.nc.gov/star hyphen jobs hyphen region. And those are a great way to just, again, a sampling. It's not a all-inclusive list, which you can access on NC Careers. So some other information. So understanding the education needs. So you may be thinking, okay, I'm interested in this occupation, but what kind of education might I need? So we have the information there on the occupation profile page there at the top. That's really typically what employers are looking for. So for information security analysts, most employers are looking for a 4-year degree, but some do not from there. So probably going to need to get a bachelor's degree, thinking about that if you want to work as a security analyst. But the next question is what are those education programs? Can I get a degree, a bachelor's degree in English? Can I get one in PE? No, typically not. So below it, these are the associated programs or majors at community colleges, UNC system schools, as well as independent college and universities that employers are typically looking for that help you develop the skills. Some other things that might be interesting here with on the education training section is, do I need a license to do this job? So I pulled up massage therapist. So you can see right below those associated programs or majors, these are the licenses that you typically might need in order to work as a massage therapist in this case. Also, NC Workforce Credentials, which is an effort to understand and identify the short-term training credentials that are out there that would help individuals access these jobs. Also, so a licensed bodywork therapist from the NC Board of Massage and Therapy. That would be, again, that credential, which is actually a license as well. And then also, are there private training programs out there? Do I need to go to a community college to get this? Or are there other private programs that are out there? And so there also, you can filter and look at a list of some other programs that are out there as well. So again, to give you the opportunities to understand where all of these programs are that are there. So the next section is called Plan My Career. This is where you're going to identify career journeys. We have a tool called Career Journey Builder where you can actually look and maybe you don't understand, maybe you've been in your occupation for a while, your job for a while, and you're ready to advance. So how could you understand what those jobs are that potentially could be an advancement for you? So you can use the Career Journey Builder tool in our Plan My Career section by current occupation. And let's say you're currently working as a medical assistant. Well, below it, these are occupations that are typically that require similar skills, but typically pay a little bit more. Could be considered an advancement in your career from there. So that can help you understand what are those occupations? How do you continue to advance your career? Some may require additional educational needs. Some may require slight retraining. But again, it really kind of gives you an idea of how you can continue to advance your career. So you've heard me allude a couple times to career development plans. So I want to make sure that you have the ability to create a career development plan. So we have added, and those of you that may have students in the K through 12 system, there is a requirement now by the North Carolina legislature that students starting in 8th grade need to create career development plans, thinking forward, revisit them in 10th grade. Moving forward, this is also accessible to everybody who has access within NC Careers and would encourage you to create a career development plan for several reasons. Number one, it provides direction. If you have a career development plan, you can post it on your fridge or something, kind of like a vision board, and it gives you an idea of what am I working for? Where do I want to go? So really kind of help keeping you staying motivated. Again, keeping your eye on, we all know that sometimes life gets hard and doors close on us and things. So having an idea of where you really want to go and keeping your eye on that ultimate goal is really valuable. Also helps you identify those skills gaps. Where do I need additional training? Do I need to develop additional skills? Maybe I could work on by myself through free resources, things like that could be available. It could also give you a competitive advantage over other job seekers by doing a career plan, do career exploration. You understand those duties, responsibilities, tasks, knowledge that employers typically looking for. In an interview, you can throw those tidbits in there. The employer would honestly be pretty impressed, know that you have done some research and understand kind of what they're looking for and kind of answer some questions along those lines. Then, of course, also the ability to share it with career professionals. So maybe you're visiting the InSource Career Centers, or you're working with other career counselors, maybe at a college or a community college or a four-year school or something along those lines. You can share this career development plan with career professionals as well. Kind of understanding that, and then they can continue to help you building off the work that you've done and all the thoughts that you move forward. So again, I'm not going to go through the steps to build a career development plan. We have a step-by-step guide that you can access through this QR code that'll really tell you how to build a career development plan. So it would certainly refer you to that resource as well. And again, I can answer questions and show you a little bit later. The next section, and I think it's our penultimate section, is the education and training section. So again, we've already talked a little bit about this in terms of how to understand and tie the occupations. What are the programs and majors that come into there? Also understanding that private training. So you remember I showed you that you could look for a massage therapist. You click on that link, and it would show you the private providers that will provide training in order to work in that education as well. So in the education and training section, if you click on find private training, you can filter by occupations and understand what those training programs are as well. Final section, and again, any good career exploration journey should ultimately lead at some point to a job search and ultimately getting hired from here. So NC Careers does not host job postings. We work with our partners over at NC Works in order to host those job postings, because that's really where those services are provided within that. So you can filter and search by NC Works. You can search by Indeed based on the geography that you looked for from there. One of the questions that you may have is, again, so maybe you have been laid off, or you're looking at doing something and you want to understand, I need a job now. I'm doing career exploration and I'm thinking about, whether it's going back to school, thinking about that, but honestly, I need a job now. What are the occupations that are being hired for the most? So every month we update looking at active job postings. What are the occupations in North Carolina and those 16 sub-regions that are being advertised for the most? So this could be great data. I would not recommend that you make long-term career decisions off of this. Use this information more as understanding how to fulfill short-term needs. What are the occupations that have the most job advertisements for right now? Again, in terms of those situations where maybe I need a job right now. So this could be very valuable to help you understand and fix those short-term needs while you're working on those long-term goals and thinking about that. So again, kind of to summarize and kind of wrapping up here. So why should you use NC Careers to help with career exploration? So I think one of the biggest things and one of the things that gets me most excited about NC Careers is 823 different jobs, different occupations. That's really valuable in terms of understanding that. And I like to say, if I'm down here in downtown Raleigh, if I went and grabbed somebody on the street and said, tell me some jobs, they'd probably be able to list 10 or 15, the jobs that they know. You don't know the jobs and the opportunities that you don't know. So using NC Careers to really expand and learn about all of the opportunities that are available to you that might meet your interest is going to be really valuable. Then understanding, using that labor market data, which ones are the best opportunities moving forward, looking at that star jobs data, which ones are 3, 4, 5-star jobs moving forward. Again, recognizing and understanding what information is there for your region. If you're interested in living and staying in the same area, what are those opportunities that are really available in your area? Accessing it from a trusted source, the North Carolina Department of Commerce, where we're providing this information moving forward. And then, of course, connecting, understanding where are those higher education opportunities, whether it's short-term training, whether it's maybe an earning associate, a bachelor's, or beyond. What are those higher education opportunities moving forward? And then ultimately, as I kind of alluded to, the ability to create a career plan, to really think about a long-term goal, processing from there. Really, the goal is NC Careers is available and open for you to use. And then, of course, you can use that career development plan for getting help from additional resources, whether that's career counselors, whether at NC Works Career Center, at lots of different places in terms of understanding that is really valuable. So again, my name's Jamie Vaughn. There's my email. From there, Anshul Gupta is also one of my colleagues that works in here. We answer questions all the time. If you have questions, we're happy to answer them. You can also follow us on social media. If you want to scan the QR code, we do a newsletter that comes out about every 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. From there, if you want to kind of keep abreast at what's going on in NC Careers and the latest with that as well. So I'll go ahead and pause now. And are there any questions or anything I can answer further?
Thank you so much, Jamie. It was a
Absolutely.
pleasure to have you on tonight. As a reminder, we will send both the recording and the slides out. And if you do have any additional questions, you can reach out to myself or Jamie at any time. We're happy to help. I hope everyone has a good night, and we hope to see you on the next one. Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Bye.